one tell me any season 8 spoilers, okay? It's not out in the UK yet, and not that I tried to illegally stream it, but if I did, let's just say it didn't work. Hi, I'm Claudia, and let's talk about my favourite fictional characters, because I've got strong opinions. I watch a lot of TV shows, and in this video I'm going to be covering some of my favourites as well as my favourite characters within those TV shows. Some also might be like multiple connected TV shows or like franchises. I'll talk about it when we get to those. Also, this video is going to have chapters on which have all the different TV shows I will be talking about. If you're planning on watching those TV shows or are halfway through and don't want spoilers, skip the chapter. I will be talking about spoilers about all of these characters up to the current season of whatever TV show I'm talking about. So yeah, this is your official spoiler warning, okay? Don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. Also, before we get started, I just want to say I'm really sorry about the lack of videos lately. I've just started uni, so my timetable's been a bit hectic. I've been quite busy, but hopefully I'm going to be able to get more videos out for you guys and a bit quicker as well. Obviously, I know before now I was on kind of a 1 video a week schedule. I think from now it's going to be more like 1 video every 2 weeks. Basically, anytime I can film a video, I will film it and then I will edit it and get it uploaded as quick as possible. If you want to know when a new video is coming, my YouTube community tab and my TikTok stories are the best places for that. I tend to post an announcement a couple of hours before the video goes live, so if you want a pre-warning, that's where you can get it. But I think that's all I have to say, so let's get started. Actually, before we properly get started, I just want to say I am talking exclusively about the characters when I'm saying this, and not about the actors playing them. I'm focusing only on the characters, not any like outside IRL stuff. I'm talking about the characters in their canon universes, okay? The first show I'm going to be talking about is 911. Now, I am not someone who started watching 911 when season 7 happened. That's not me. I started watching 911 in November of 2020. Almost 4 years ago. And at that point in the UK, seasons 1, 2 and 3 were out and season 4 wouldn't air for another 6 months or so. So that's how long I've been watching. And since watching those first 3 seasons, my favourite character has and probably always will be Evan Buckley. Or Buck, as I'm going to be calling him in this video. I'm going to call him Buck, okay? I love Buck so much, okay? He's my favourite character probably of like all time over any TV show. Obviously I'm going to go into my other TV shows in a minute, but he is absolutely one of my top ones out of like the entire world. I don't know what it is about him, I just love him so much. Buck is just so golden retriever and I love that about him. Like, I remember the first time I watched 911 and I got to the start of season 2 and I was like, oh my god, Abby's left him. I almost cried. And yes, if anyone wants to know, I do ship Buddy. I have been shipping Buddy since like season 4, since the shooting. I've been here a while. Also, no one tell me any season 8 spoilers, okay? It's not out in the UK yet, and not that I tried to illegally stream it, but if I did, let's just say it didn't work. I'm so desperate for season 8 to come out in the UK. I keep like having to avoid Twitter and TikTok to avoid spoilers, and I already know a lot of the first episode because as I'm filming this, only episode 1's come out, but I don't want to be spoiled for when Buddy happens and I can't watch it. Okay? Also, me and Evan Buckley both have issues with our legs, okay? I relate to him in that way. I actually made a tweet about this a couple of weeks ago. I'll put it on screen if I can find it. Side note, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. There's a link down below. You know, it's there if you want it. But I have chronic pain in my left leg and Evan Buckley got crushed by a ladder truck. You know, same thing. I know it's not the same thing, but in my head, I'm like, oh my god, that makes me so Evan Buckley coded. You know, we both have problems with our legs. I don't know if it's the same leg. I haven't read that much into it, but who knows? Also, I've been reading a lot of Buddy fanfiction recently, and I love when Buddy fanfics actually talk about the ramifications of the ladder truck bombing. Like, yes, Buck's leg got crushed by a fire truck. He probably does have residual pain from that no matter how many years later we are. And that makes me happy because I have pain every day, and for one of my favourite characters, at least in fan fiction, to also have that kind of pain, that makes me really happy. So, you know, I don't talk about it a lot, but I do have chronic pain in my left leg. I've been dealing with it for like 5 years now, so I'm kind of used to it, but I just don't talk about it very often. Like, I know that me and Buck probably would have very different types of pain, but it makes me feel happy, you know, so I'm gonna take it. So yeah, I believe my leg pain makes me Evan Buckley coded. And I love that. But Buck has had so many bad things happen to him, I can't help but feel sorry for him. Like, Abby left him. A ladder truck fell on his leg and crushed it. Eddie got shot. Ellie fell down the well. He got struck by lightning. The lawsuit, no one talked to me about the lawsuit. I haven't been able to rewatch the lawsuit arc since I first watched it. It hurts me too much. I just wanted to see him happy. And currently he's with Tommy, which, he's there. I'm like, eh. Could you have done it with someone else? Probably. Is he there? Eh. Do I like Tommy? No. Do I like the storyline that Tommy brought in? Yes. That's how I feel about it. So anyway, yes, I am hoping for Buddy Canon Season 8. please. Oh, and the tsunami. I forgot to mention the tsunami, you know, yeah, that giant thing. Anyway, yes, I love Evan Buckley with my whole heart. He will be my favourite character to the end of time. Next show is Grey's Anatomy / the wider Grey's Anatomy universe, which we'll get onto in a minute. My favourite character on Grey's Anatomy of all time is Jo Wilson. I love her so much. And I know that might be an unpopular opinion considering she only joined in season 9, and though she is still on the show today, you know. I love her so much, and she didn't deserve Alex leaving like that. I'm still very mad about it. I have not rewatched the episode since the first time. It gets me so angry. Like, really? Alex would divorce his wife, who he's finally happy with, to go back to Izzy just because she's had his children. Very weird. It's very out of character for Alex, especially post his character development with Jo. But Jo was done dirty by that. But I do love Jo. Also, no spoilers for the new season of Grey's Anatomy, because that's also not out in the UK yet. All I know is what happened in the finale of last season, which Jo's pregnant. That's all I know so far, okay? No spoilers, please. I don't want it ruined. My second favourite and very, very almost top favourite character for Grey's Anatomy is Lexi Gray. I love her so much. The thing that kind of takes her down a notch is that she just wasn't on the show for very long. Like, thinking about it in my head, she was on it for ages, but really she was only on the show for 5 seasons, which is like a quarter of the show in its entirety. She was on the show from season 4 to season 8 when, you know, she died. I did say there would be spoilers, okay? And I do absolutely love her. She is an amazing character and she deserved to be happy before she died. Like, I get there was that deathbed love confession between her and Mark, but I wanted to see them happy, okay? But Jo just takes it just because she's been on more seasons. You know, this is her 12th season, I think, or 13th, compared to Lexi's 5. You can kind of see where I'm coming from. Other characters I love are Amelia Shepherd, Christina Yang, Arizona Robbins, April Kepner. I love quite a lot of the characters, but Jo and Lexi are right at the top for me. Also, one that I'm not really sure what to put is Karina DeLuca, because she's one of my favourite characters on the show, but she's on Grey's Anatomy, and then she kind of switches to mainly being on Station 19, and now we don't know where she is, so who knows. Station 19 being cancelled is a whole separate thing for me. That made me very mad. Like, I love Station 19 so much. Anyway, yes, Karina was my favourite character on, Station 19 and Grey's Anatomy. I also love Maya Bishop so much. If we're counting Karina DeLuca as a Station 19 character, then she's my favourite character from Station 19. However, if we count her as a Grey's Anatomy character, she's up on the list, but she's not really super high. If we don't count Karina, we just count, the main cast of Station 19, then Maya Bishop is my favourite. I love her so much. Is she my favourite just because Karina is my favourite? Maybe. Also, I love Dean Miller with my whole heart. His death wrecked me. Did not see that coming when I watched it. I was literally sobbing. But I do love Station 19. I'm going to miss it so much when this new season of Grey's starts in the UK. Just not having it to go alongside. It's just going to be weird. But now we should talk about the other Grey's Anatomy spin-off, Private Practice. Now, is Private Practice probably the less popular Grey's Anatomy spin-off? Yes. Is it my favourite? Yes. I prefer Private Practice to Station 19. Okay, it's just that good. If you've never watched it, you definitely should. It's not as intertwined with Grey's Anatomy as Station 19 was, but I love it all the same. Although the ending is a bit dodgy, season 6 in its entirety is a bit I still love the show though. The only good storylines in season 6 are Cooper's and Charlotte's. That's it. Which brings me very nicely to the point that my favourite Private Practice character is Dr. Charlotte King. Charlotte King is just so good. I love her so much. When you start out season 1, she's just kind of this mean chief of the hospital who doesn't let Addison do what she wants. But as the show goes on and her character develops more, she becomes this really, really loved character who, yes, is a bit mean and can be quite sarcastic and rude, but she's also just loves her family so much, and I love that about her. Did I see the triplet twist coming? No. Do I love it? Yes. Also, the way she just fully accepts Mason as one of her own, I love so much. Obviously Mason's mum dies, and that's extremely sad in the show. I almost cried. But Charlotte doesn't just abandon him and go, oh, he's not my son. She's like, no, I'm going to take him in. I'm going to look after him. And I love that about her so much. Charlotte King is just everything I would want that kind of character to be, in that she is cutthroat and mean when she has to be, but also soft and loving when she has to be, and I love that. I should also mention with Private Practice, Dell is very high on that list. He would be higher if he hadn't died. If he hadn't have died, he would be top, but he died, and that makes me cry every single time I watch it. So he's not allowed to be top. It's not enough you have to kill off Betsy's mum, then you have to kill off her dad too. Leave her an orphan? I feel with Private Practice we had that kind of core cast of everyone who worked at the practice. And with Grey's Anatomy, some of the most watched episodes are when someone from the core cast dies. And with Private Practice, they hadn't had that yet, so they decided to, kill off Dell. The first time I watched that, I was at school. And I was sat there almost in tears. I had to stop myself physically from crying because I was at school. I was in sixth form, I was in a free period, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna watch some Private Practice. It's not a crime. And then I remember texting my friend who had already watched Private Practice saying, Dell just died, I'm crying, help. And she just laughed at me. So that was fun. I feel like that was Private Practice's way of taking the Grey's Anatomy model and killing off a main cast member. Didn't have to do it to Dell though, leave his child an orphan. It makes me so sad, but also so angry. It's so bad. But we should move on from the Grey's Anatomy and wider Grey's Anatomy universe now to my next show. I mentioned in another video that with this next show, Criminal Minds, I haven't watched the entire thing. In fact, I have never watched past Morgan's last episode, because I know what happens to my favourite character and I don't want to watch it. My favourite Criminal Minds character is Dr. Spencer Reid. And I know what happens to him in season 12 and I am not watching that. I said before in a different video that I'm currently rewatching Criminal Minds and I'm going to try and go past season 11 and get to, you know, the prison storyline and see him past that. In that video I said I was at the end of season 6 and I was putting off watching the end of season 6 because Emily comes back and everyone gets mad, especially Spencer. And I have not watched a single episode since then. I'm putting it off. Season 7 does have one of my favourite Spencer Reid lines of all time. I love it so much. For anyone wondering, it's "This is calm and it's Doctor." Do I have to explain myself? Definitely not. I watched Criminal Minds the first time when I was 13, so I've been watching it for a while. But I have loved Spencer Reid for the entire time I've watched the show. He is my favourite character. I love him so much. He's just so smart and he's so funny even when he doesn't mean to be. I love him so much. And he deserved a better ending than he got, unless they bring him back in Evolution, which I know they haven't done yet, even though I haven't watched it myself. He deserved a better ending than just leaving or being on sabbatical for the entire time of Evolution or whatever he's doing. I know Maeve died, but he deserved to find love, and he so wanted children, even if he didn't trust his genetics, and oh my god, it gets me very mad when I think about the fact that Spencer never got a good ending. He was never truly happy, and that really, really hurts me. I love Spencer Reid a lot. He's a very special character to me, purely in the way that he's, you know, super smart, and I was always seen as like the smart one in my classes and that kind of thing. I know I went to a grammar school, but I was still seen as one of the really smart ones. Even though Spencer Reid's super smart, he has this group of friends, and although he never gets to fall in love with the woman that doesn't die, he's kind of happy. And that's really special to me because I was the smart one and I was like, that could be me one day. Although hopefully I don't fall in love with people who die. That wouldn't be fun. But yeah, I love Spencer Reid and just Criminal Minds as a whole a lot. I love it so much. It's one of my favourite TV shows. And the last TV show I'm going to talk about today, slash franchise, because it's technically more than one TV show, is Chicago PD. Slash the wider One Chicago franchise. You know what I mean. My favourite character is Hailey Upton. I love her so much. Now, Jay is up there. I do love Jay Halstead. Am I saying his last name right? I don't know. I'm British. I don't know how to say it in not an American accent. We're going with Halstead, okay? You know who I'm talking about. But Jay is up there, but the things he did in season 10 were just so awful that even the rest of the show cannot redeem him. Because he hurt Hailey, and Hailey is my favourite. Yes, I know Hailey left at the end of season 11. I don't care, she's still my favourite. Also, I know season 12 has started airing in America, but yet again, it has not started airing in the UK yet, so please do not spoil it for me. I don't care that Hailey's gone. She's still my favourite. No one will ever replace her. She's my favourite over all 3 shows, and that is a hard title to win. Like Med, does Med have any standout ones for me? Not really. I kind of love them all the same. They're all kind of middly on my lists. Fire, however, Sylvie Brett right at the top. I love her so much. Obviously, she is also gone now. I do also really like Violet and some of the newer characters they're bringing in, but my favourite has always been Sylvie, very closely followed by Gabby. I loved Gabby when she was on it. But Hailey is my favourite over the entire 3 shows. I do also love Stella from Chicago Fire. She's great. Love her too. But Hailey Upton, I love her so much. Hailey Upton had to deal with so much on the entire show. Like, her character had so much trauma. And then she was finally happy. Her and Jay were married, everyone was good. And then Jay left and then they got a divorce because, you know, he didn't text his wife. I'm so mad about that still. In my head, Hailey leaves. She, like, bumps into Jay on the street, wherever she is. And they're back together and they're happy again. And no one can tell me different. I just want my girl to be happy, okay? Is that the reason I've read so many Upstead fanfics lately? Probably. I love a good Upstead fanfic. They're all so good. Like, I can only read so many season 10 fix-it fics in a row because they are very angsty and they do tend to make me be on the verge of tears. But I do love a good Upstead fanfic. If you're looking for good Upstead fanfics, I highly recommend the author Annie Saldors on AO3. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, sorry. But they make absolutely stunning Upstead fanfics. I love them all. novels so much. There's one currently coming out called Lost Boy. It's like an ongoing fic, and it's one of my favourite ongoing fics that I'm reading at the minute. I love it so much. Hailey Upton deserved better than what the writers gave her. I will not take no for an answer. She deserved better. And I know there was some behind the scenes stuff with Jay's actor, and that's why he was written off the show. I haven't looked into it too much, so like don't ask me about it because I don't tend to look at the actors on my TV shows. I just watch the TV shows. But they could have just made him an off-screen husband and they could have been happy. My heart wants that, okay? And in the season 9 finale, when Hailey and Jay get caught in that massive explosion and like she's pretty much knocked unconscious, I thought that was going to be they take her to the hospital and find out she's pregnant. That's what I thought that was going to be. It wasn't. We start next season, 3 episodes in, Jay's gone. I was so sad. When Jay left in, I think it is the 3rd episode of season 10, I'm like 90% sure. I went on the Chicago PD wiki and I was like, okay, what is the latest episode he was in? Because surely he comes back. That's when I found out he doesn't come back. It was a hard day for me. So yeah, Jay cannot be redeemed because of his awful, horrific actions. However, Hailey is my favourite character. She will be probably for the rest of time over the whole One Chicago franchise. Love her so much. And what's really funny is a few years ago, I watched Chicago PD for the first time. However, I stopped at the end of season 4 because I loved Erin and Jay that much. But then this time I watched it and I was watching all 3 shows at the same time, and I thought, you know what, I'm carrying on because I think there was a storyline in Fire I wanted to see, and I was just like, you know what, we'll carry on. And I absolutely fell in love with Hailey Upton. I love her so, so much. And that's coming from someone who was an Erin Lindsay fan, finally started watching season 5 and realised, oh no, Hailey's way better, I love her so much. Like, I love Erin Lindsay, I do, she's quite high up on my favourite characters list, but I just love Hailey more. She's just so cool, I love her so much, and she deserved better. With all that trauma they gave her, she deserved a happy ending. She didn't get one, and I'm still mad. But I should probably finish this video before I get really angry and start, I don't know, smashing stuff. Also, I've almost been recording for an hour, and this video is probably going to be about 15 minutes when I edit it down, so that's going to be a fun job. But yeah, those are my favourite characters in all my favourite TV shows. Well, most of my favourite TV shows. There are some I haven't gone into here. If you agree with me, or if you disagree with me, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to know. And if you want me to talk about any of these characters in more depth, leave a comment down below and I'll see it and I'll probably make a video on it. Before I go, I want to say a very big thank you for 10 subscribers. I know that might seem stupid, like a stupidly small milestone, but for me that's a really big deal. I've really been trying to make really good videos for the past 5 months that I've been doing this, so seeing that there's 10 people who are subscribed to me, it makes me really, really happy, so thank you so much. If you want to follow me on Twitter or TikTok, there'll be links down below. I just hit 2,000 followers on TikTok actually, which is super, super cool, and I'm so very thankful for that. I talk a lot about fan fiction over there. If you want to go follow me, I post TikToks pretty much every single day. Twitter's more of like my rambly stuff about YouTubers I like, but you know, you do you. If you want to follow. If you don't, you don't. And if you enjoyed the video, I have to be awkward and ask you to like and maybe subscribe, just maybe. I'd really, really appreciate it if you did. It means a lot to me when people like my videos or subscribe. So yeah, I've been Claudia. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll hopefully see you all soon. Bye!